If you know anything about me, you know my stance on credit cards, and that is I don't have one. That simple. Next video. No, I'm just kidding. What happens when you cut up a credit card? A quick example is I have a client that had 9 credit cards. She had one that she didn't use, and she was so emotionally attached to it that she was scared to do it. Well, we did get it cut up, and guess what? Well, she didn't die. And also, her belief was that her credit score was going to go down. That also did not hold true because she had 8 other cards along with other debts. And she also has utility bills that all affect the credit score. Now, for me, I quickly mentioned I didn't have a credit card. I don't have a credit. I haven't had one in nearly 20 years. My credit score is undeterminable. So if you go and run a credit check on me, you can't access it because I've even gone to the extra step of freezing my credit. So know that that's where I stand. Now, Jason, we quickly have talked about in the past, your stance is slightly different than mine. Explain to you where you stand when it comes to having a credit card.
Yeah, so I always recommend people when they start their financial journey, when they're starting to learn about money management and creating budgets and all those things, that people do not use their credit cards. Don't use it because while you are learning these new skills, new habits, new things, using the credit card is very, very dangerous. I agree with Mike. It is very dangerous. I don't think that they're a positive thing at all. Now, if you choose, like I do, full disclosure, if you choose when you get good at managing your money and you know what's going on, if you choose to use that credit card, use it like a debit card. That's what I personally do. I do not carry a balance. I don't owe money to credit cards or banks. I truly use the credit card as a debit card because it's of the convenience factor of not having to have like all of these, crossing the T's and dotting the I's and all that stuff. Like I use it as a debit card. It just gives me a few weeks until I have to pay that credit card off the ability to shift things around, be creative. But I do agree they're not a good thing. I don't positively have these wonderful feelings when I have credit cards, but I do, full disclosure, use a credit card.
Yes. And just to confirm, like what happens when you do cut up a credit card, your credit score will most likely not change. If that's your only credit card and you got rid of it, congratulations. And your credit score may go down. But the cool things of what actually happens. So that was the negative. I don't think credit scores are positive, but if that was a negative for you, the benefits of cutting that up is it gives you a reduction of ID theft, right? So you no longer have that account or that card for someone to steal, right? It reduces that. A great example of this is if you were a health coach and you were helping your friend that was obese lose weight, and they were carrying around in their purse a Snickers bar. What's going to happen? They're going to eat it. But what if they say, oh, it's just for emergencies, just like a credit card, right? Well, they're still going to eat it, right? So if you have a credit card and you're there just for emergencies, you're going to use it. And the potential of someone else taking that is higher, right? The ID theft side of things. One of the benefits that I got to have when was reducing my cards and my bank accounts was time freedom. We're here for financial freedom. That's why you're watching this video, but time freedom is very important. The time management of making sure you pay that bill, the management of if you lose the card and you have automatic drafts, you then have to move that over. Now, that can be true for losing a debit card, right? Or getting a new bank account. But if we have more than one credit card or more than one bank account, you start losing the simplicity, right? My life is so simple because I started reducing what my name was attached to, the number of accounts that I had by getting rid of credit card. That's another account. By reducing the number of bank accounts that I had, I made my life simpler, especially for tax time. That if you do your own taxes, you know what I'm talking about. But if you pay someone to do your taxes, it saves them time, which may save you money too, especially if they're a paid by the hour accountant, right? So keep that in mind. And I always like to go to extreme. What happens when you die? is your spouse, is your family member, whoever is the executor of your estate. How simple is it going to be for them to take over your accounts to make sure the lights stay on? Where do I even find this card, this account number, right? Those kind of things. Being simple, time freedom and simplicity is very important.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. The amount of effort, and I tend to go down this rabbit hole, is I've got to do all the research and then do research on that research and then double check that research and do all this stuff. And it's like, wait a second, I did all of that work to save me $20, but
Mm.
I spent 10 hours on that research. Like, wait a minute, to save $20, like what is my time worth, right? I'm reminded of that from Ange all the time. What is my time worth? And so you got to really take that into account. Like, how many accounts do you have? How many checking accounts? How many savings accounts? How many bank accounts? How many, like all these different things. How many cards do you have? And how much
Mhm.
stress are you living under to manage all of that and shuffling around and paying all these different bills? And what if I'm late on one of these bills and it costs me $39? All that can just go away. So, I mean, let's summarize this here. Like, let's just try cutting one card,
Mhm.
right? If you have two, three, four, five cards, try cutting one of them up. Again, Mike says this all the time. He promises you, if
Mhm.
you hate it and you want to go and get another credit card again, the banks will give you a credit card. They will because they know they make money on you. So try it. Cut one up, see how you feel. Just sit with that for a minute and then see how you do in the next week, in the next 2 weeks with that card cut up. And then do a reassessment, an analysis of how your money is changed positively, negatively, neutrally, whatever. Just try it and see what that happens. What happens with that? Mike, you want to add anything for that summary? Like, let's try
I
that.
do. I want to leave you guys on this last note. Whatever you do try, you are going to realize that you didn't die. You're not going to die. Just try it out. And like Jason said, again, if you don't like it, you can always go back to the way you were. But once you learn and try something new, you never go back. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.